Do you want to know how we manage accounts spending more than $7,000 a day? Well, it's with automated rules within Facebook. It's a native tool that Facebook provides for all advertisers out there. And in my opinion, that is the most under-leveraged tool for all advertisers out there. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything that goes into creating automated rules, managing high budgets with automated rules for your ad account, as well as then talking about some nitty-gritty hacks that you can do and establish within your ad account and have things a little bit more on autopilot. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into it. Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor and I'm the founder of Victory Media, a boutique Facebook marketing agency that exclusively works with e-commerce brands to help them scale their revenues with the help of Facebook ads. So, especially when it comes to running ad accounts at higher budgets, a lot of times we have run into struggles that, we can't be, although we have a full-time media buyer on the account, we can't be within the account 24/7. And especially when it comes to accounts where we are spending $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a day, and it becomes really difficult to be on top of everything for 24/7. And it's really, it comes really in handy to have a stop loss or some kind of rule, automated rule, always governing the account in order to make sure that we're not overspending on underperformers. Especially when it comes to creative testing, we use automated rules a lot. And therefore, I wanted to record this video today for you to be, walk through this completely different world of using automated rules to cut your losers and be not really emotionally attached to any type of creatives and give it another $50 or give it another $100. I am personally always really guilty of that, thinking, we've put so much work into that right now. Let's give it a little bit more. But ultimately, 99% of the times, it really doesn't turn out to be a lot better to spend those $50 to $100. And therefore, having that automated approach, as well as, really cutting out your emotions, is a great benefit of using automated rules. And therefore, I wanted to take you into my ad account today, into an example ad account, and showcase you how we use automated rules. And I'm going to share with you two particular rules that we use on a daily basis that you can use in order to limit your losses and make sure that your Facebook ads are more profitable and grow your e-commerce brand more sustainably. So let's hop straight into it. So here we are within the dummy account within the dummy Facebook Ads Manager, Facebook ad account that I've created for those purposes. And let's go ahead and take a look at the rules. So you can find them right here in the middle, where you can go ahead and either manage existing rules, which I don't have for this ad account yet, but let's create a new rule together. So you have a couple of different options right here, but we are just going to go with custom rules, right? And let's walk through the setup real quick. So the first thing that you can do is apply this rule to all active campaigns, all active ad sets, all active ads, or you can also go ahead and select a couple of ad sets or campaigns that this particular rule only applies to. Then the next thing is you can decide, if for those particular campaigns or ad sets or creatives that you've selected, what action should there be applied if the rule or if the particular conditions are met. So should the campaign or the ad set be turned off? Should it be turned on? Should there only be a notification sent, right? If you, for example, want to understand or want to be on top of, actually daily performance has dropped 30%, right? For this ad set, we only want to get a notification instead of making a definite and ultimate action to your change to your ad set. Then you can do this, right? On the other hand, you can just adjust the budget, decrease the daily budget, increase the lifetime, or decrease the lifetime budget as well. So then this is the meat here, conditions, right? All of the following, conditions are met. And this is where you really want to go ahead and think about your own KPIs. What is the desired cost per result that I want to have? What is the targets that I want to achieve? What is the performance that I want to get from this particular campaign, from this particular ad set or creative? And then you can also take a look at, the time range that this particular, rule should apply to for this ad set or campaign. Should apply to the maximum, meaning like the lifetime of this ad set. If it goes below, a certain threshold, or the cost per result drops a certain threshold for the lifetime, do you then want to only go ahead and turn it off or decrease the budget or whatever? or if it surpasses, or like if it is, you know, outperforming for a lifetime, should you then only go ahead and increase the budget or whatsoever? And usually, obviously, you don't only want to make decisions, especially for long-lasting and evergreen campaigns, based upon a lifetime of results, but you want to have time frame usually of like 7 days. But let's stay with the maximum time range just for now. Then you can also have a schedule, which in my opinion comes super in handy. We're honestly not using that so often. There are a lot of, you know, use cases for that, for using it like on a daily time, having some kind of a custom schedule. However, the 2 use cases that I'm also going to share with you throughout the video are 2 particular use cases where we use rules. Ultimately, you can really use rules for whatever you would like. You can turn off and on all campaigns just on particular days on a custom kind of schedule, right? But especially the 2 use cases that I'm going to share throughout this video are pretty much just kind of limiting your losses when it comes to creative testing in particular. So therefore, let's hop straight into it, and I'm going to walk you through the two rules that we use most often for all the other accounts, or for all the accounts that we manage. So the 2 use cases, the first one is increasing the budget if we see a performance of a campaign going really, really great. Honestly, usually I do not really apply any rule to a general campaign, but only to a particular ad set, or only to a set of ad sets that I want to apply this rule to. So we want to then go ahead and increase the daily budget by 20%, let's say. This is something that I do a lot of times. Oopsie, why is this not working now? There you go. By 20%. We can even set a maximum daily budget cap if we want to not spend more than, for example, $1,000 on that ad set. This is something that I usually don't really do that often if we do not really have budget constraints with this particular ad account. And then I want to go ahead and say, okay, if the lifetime budget or if the lifetime spend has been more than $500, and our target cost per result is $50, and we're getting a $30 cost per result, then I want to increase it by 20%. So here it automatically moves in the lifetime impressions, but since I've spent more than $500 as a condition there, you can just kind of X that away. However, that is one rule that you could, for example, apply. And then what I do is increase budget at $500 if CPP is below $30. So this is kind of a really, really nice way, because there are a lot of repetitive actions that you're going to take within your ad account, especially as you scale. And honestly, every time, it doesn't matter how the ad set looks like or whatever, if I see a cost per result of $30 or 30 euros at a target cost per result of $50, I want to increase this budget by at least 20%. The reason why I do kind of shy away from turning off ad sets, turning off ad sets in particular, is because we as an agency are obviously inside of those ad accounts every day. So we want to only automate certain functions, like increasing the daily budget, to be able to really move as quick as possible. If we are, for example, having a high spending account, and we want to kind of really switch gears fast and quickly. Turning off is, in my opinion, turning off an ad set, in my opinion, is such a, really important and crucial change that might really, fuck up the performance and the optimization of this ad set. Because if you have turned off an ad set once, it's really difficult to get that performance back, honestly, from my experience. Therefore, I almost never use that action, because we are within those data accounts on a daily basis. And I still think that taking into account different time frames and taking into account the different metrics apart from just CPP or click-through rate on an ad set, and especially on a campaign level, I can make a more informed decision from a human standpoint in those rules. But especially this type of rule, I always really like to apply to most every of the accounts that we manage, in order to really make sure that we don't really leave a lot of money on the table. And if we see that performance coming in, we quickly and in an automated way have increased the budget. Then the second rule, and in my opinion, one of the most important rules and like that we have within the account, and that is cutting our losses when it comes to creative testing. And this is a rule that I would recommend everybody and anybody that runs Facebook ads and that, extensively tests creative to apply within their ad account. And that is, apply rule to all active ads. So to all active ad creatives. And here you actually want to use turn of ads. And then instead of those conditions, you want to go ahead and have like spend. It's more than, let's say, this is a high spending threshold, but let's say this is a high spending account and we have an average order value of, let's say, something along the lines of $60. So we want to spend, and we are capable of spending 3x the average order value of, on one creative before we then have to decide whether it's a losing or winning ad creative. So you can, however, also, if your budget is a little tighter, on $100 or, use $50 or whatever, let's go with $200 right now. And then, because this is a repetitive action that I usually always do, or that you could also do manually, and where you then evaluate the performance of this particular creative, because this is what we used to do all the time. As soon as a creative has spent more than $200, we take a look at it, evaluate it from a, CTR standpoint. And let's say the target for this, is for winning creative is that it's greater than 1.4. So if it is smaller than 1.4, right, and our cost per result is greater than our cost per result target of $50, then we know that this is not a winning ad creative because we've spent $200 on that. We have given it enough time to really, learn and understand who to deliver to. And if it still has not really been able to perform neither from a click performance, neither from a cost per result performance, then we want to make sure that we turn it off, cut our losses quickly, and really do not emotionally attach ourselves to that particular ad creative. So let's name this rule real quick. So turn off at $200 if CTR is below 1.4% and CPP is above $50. Because the reason why we want to definitely have the CPP in here, like this cost per purchase, kind of hedge in here, is because beforehand I've always been just only basing it off on click-through rate for some time. And then I've seen, a lot of creatives are sometimes paused because they're not necessarily have the best click-through rate, but actually our cost per result is looking pretty decent because our conversion rate is super high and the ad creative is actually attracting people that are super qualified to buy with us. And they want to get the product now ASAP. So therefore you want to have that hedge because obviously cost per result and profitable new customer acquisition is your ultimate goal with Facebook ads. And if you even have a CTR of only 1%, but it, for whatever reason, people are converting like hell on that creative, and you actually have your cost per purchase, your cost per result outperforming your targets, you obviously don't really want to turn that creative off. So, however, if that also is not the case and you have a below or underperforming CTR as well as an underperforming cost per result, then you obviously want to make sure that you cut your losses quickly and actually apply that rule. And I always go ahead and apply this continuously. So every 30 minutes, Facebook goes ahead and checks whether every ad creative within this ad account has spent more than $200, has a CTR of lower than 1.4, and a cost per result of more than $50 or 50 euros. And then it also sends me an email, and I can go ahead and really notice when something has been turned off automatically within my ad account. So, and that is pretty much it, okay? Rules, in my opinion, are a great addition to your toolkit in order to make more automated decisions and limit your losses when it comes, especially to creative testing. I think the second rule that I've shared with you is something that every advertiser out there should be using on an automated way, because I see it so often that advertisers are clinging onto, you know, the performance and saying like, okay, let's spend this extra $50 or $100 in order to, you know, see whether this might not really kind of turn out to be a great performing ad creative, because they're emotionally attached to that ad creative, which is completely understandable, right? Limiting your losses in that way, I think, is super great, because you should have those KPIs already on top of your mind of like, how much can I, you know, you can also do this from a cost per click standpoint. How much can I, you know, pay for a click, or, you know, what kind of click-through rate targets do I want to get in order for me to say that this is a successful and winning ad creative. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you can already see how you can apply those automated rules within your ad account. And if you think that you can apply this and this was super helpful for you, then feel free to smash the like button right below this video. It, you know, really helps the algorithm to rank this video better, as well as, you know, I always get super motivated by it. And if you want to know more about how to grow your e-commerce brand profitably and manage your Facebook ads more profitably and scale them sustainably and, you know, limit your losses, then feel free to browse through my channel. I have tons of videos talking about e-commerce strategy, creative strategy, as well as little, you know, tips and tricks of how to get a better performance with your Facebook ad account. And yeah, a video drops every Thursday. On that note, I hope I'll see you next Thursday. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next Thursday.